I knew it was gonna be bad, but not that bad. Holy cow. So what exactly happens to our eyes when we stare at screens? How does it damage or hurt our eyes? The average person across all age groups spends between 6 and 7 hours per day staring at a digital screen. So for this video, I'm going to spend 24 hours staring at a screen, not going to sleep, and I'm going to document everything. I'm going to take before, middle, after pictures of my eyes. I'm going to try and track my symptoms. And we're going to see what staring at a screen actually does to my eyes. So, let's focus in. Here are the before pictures and videos before I even started the 24-hour session. And just to stack the odds against me, we actually had a late doctor meeting night the night before. So I actually woke up with lack of sleep and a little bit of dry eyes to start right off the bat. And so in these pictures, we actually put some yellow sodium fluorescein dye in there, and then we shine a blue light. And if there's any damaged tissue or irritation, inflammation, it will glow green. And so as you can see, there are little areas in both eyes, right eye and left eye, where I have some of that irritation, inflammation, maybe keratitis, that inflammation there, just right off the bat. But not too bad. So just a few rules as we get started here. The screens that I chose to look at are computer, phone, tablet. I'm not going to watch any TV, even though TV was included in that 6 to 7 hours. I want to see what looking at something up close for this long is actually going to do to my eyes or do to my eye strain. I'm not going to use any artificial tears to soothe my eyes. I'm also not going to take the recommended frequent breaks, like the 20-20-20 rule, where every 20 minutes you try and give your eyes a break. I'm not going to use any computer glasses or blue light glasses or anything like that to help with eye strain that might show up. But obviously I'm still going to go to the bathroom, get my food, say hi to my kids, you know, stuff like that. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick little update. We're about 4 or 5 hours in now, and I'm actually doing pretty good. My eyes are maybe a little bit more dry, but the one thing that I wanted to say that I'm starting to notice is that my eyes or my vision isn't as clear. I'm starting to notice a little bit more ghosting coming off of letters, what I'm reading. And yeah, I thought I was going to get that much later, so I'm kind of surprised I'm starting to see that now, so I'm kind of worried for later in the day. But in about 3-4 hours, I'm going to go back into the office, take some pictures, and then we'll come back and finish the day. Now, it's been shown that we blink 60% less when staring at digital screens. Usually we get about 15 blinks per minute, and that can go down to about 6 blinks per minute. So what I did is I did some calculations to see how many blinks I was going to miss out on during this 24-hour period. So in a normal day, not staring at screens, I'd have 21,600 blinks. Staring at a screen, I'll have 8,640. That means I'm going to be shy 12,960 blinks by the time I'm done. And on top of that, I'm guessing there are going to be a lot of incomplete blinks in there as well. Usually when we're staring at screens, phones, we have an incomplete blink, meaning our eyelids don't touch and there's still a little bit of a gap of the eye that's exposed to the air, causing even more dryness. Okay, we're at hour 8. I just had my wife drive me down to the office. We're going to take some more pictures and videos, see how we're doing. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. You know, maybe a little bit dry, so I'm kind of curious to see how the pictures look, but I'm holding strong here. But yeah, hour 8, here we go. Okay, so this is the sodium fluorescein dye. This helps me see if there are any dry patches called keratitis on the eye. See how the tears are staying on the eyes, kind of makes my eyes a little bit yellow. This will help me with the pictures here, so here we go. So this is my right eye. I'm just kind of checking T-but or tear breakup time. You can kind of see, I mean, I didn't really get a good tear section here, but you'll see here there's some sections where my tears start to break up right there. That's where the dye is loosening and the tears kind of breaking up right there. And then here's my left eye. I'm not doing so hot. I actually have some dry eye patches, keratitis, tear breakup time. Right there was about 1 second or 2 seconds, but yeah, I don't have any tears in that section of my eye. So if I'm staring right now, looking at a screen, this area is exposed. Now it's all the tears are going away. That whole eye is exposed. It doesn't have any tears protecting that eye right there. And that's where that dryness happens, and you'll get these inflammation patches and Poor tear quality. I can see debris floating in there. Yeah, my eyes actually felt not too bad, and this is only 8 hours. But I still have some stuff on there. So we'll see how it goes at the 24-hour mark. I'm kind of curious. Okay, we just passed the halfway mark, and I still feel like I'm actually doing pretty good. One thing that you might have noticed on the videos or the pictures at the 7-8 hour mark is that I am getting a little bit of dry patches on the left eye. I almost had a line of keratitis or a dry eye patch, and I definitely think that's from an incomplete blink. That's where my eyelid is stopping, and I'm not really coating my full eyes. And I'm starting to feel dryness, a little bit more burning around the edge of my eyelids. Still not bad though, not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so I still think I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, definitely the dryness is kind of creeping in, and I think it's from the less blinks and the incomplete blinks. And kind of what happens there when you don't blink enough and you have incomplete blinks, your eyes are exposed to the air, so you have evaporation of your tears, or evaporative dry eye. So your tears evaporate, the salt concentration of your tears goes up, and because your tears are salty, that causes some irritation, some stinging, burning to the surface of your eyes, causes inflammation, which causes redness and more irritation, and causes you to kind of rub your eyes, and more dryness and maybe a little bit of swelling, and then it just becomes a vicious cycle and just keeps going. Okay, we are at the 15-hour mark, and I wasn't planning on doing an update, but for whatever reason, at the 15-hour mark, my eyes are definitely feeling it more. Definitely more dryness. I'm getting to the point where every time I pretty much close my eyes, I kind of feel that burn, that sting. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm kind of squinting down a little bit, trying to keep my eyelids closed, limiting any exposure of the air to the eye. And I'm also noticing that I have to kind of refocus a little bit more. And for whatever reason, my left eye is feeling it more than my right eye. In fact, there's a little bit more redness, especially in the corner. Luckily, I'm not having a lot of eye strain though, which I thought I was going to have a lot more, maybe headaches, but it seems like my eyes are holding strong right now, so I'm kind of happy about that. But definitely the dryness factor is what's getting me, so I'll keep going. We have 9 hours more. Here we go. And that is officially 24 hours. Definitely the last couple hours were pretty tricky. The combination of lack of sleep and staring at a screen, not blinking, definitely took a toll. The dryness was probably my top symptom. I did have a little bit of eye strain. No headache though, which I'm thankful for. But the dryness was pretty tricky. The last couple hours I was starting to get a foreign body sensation in my left eye. I felt like something was in there. Felt like I had to kind of keep my eyes closed longer, burning, stinging. Yeah, it was just kind of a battle. And the lack of sleep, there is a lot of rejuvenation that happens to your tissue and tears that I missed out on. So that combination really caused the dry eye symptoms for sure. But I'm kind of excited to see what my eyes look like under the microscope. So I'm going to wrap up here, head over to the office and take some pictures and videos. And then I'm probably going to go right to sleep, and then I'll finish the video when I get up. Okay, let's go. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention, that my vision definitely did fluctuate more as time went on. I started to get more blurry vision, ghosting of images, and I had to frequently blink and rub my eyes to try and clear my vision up. It was super annoying. Okay, so I'm really glad that that day is over. I've had a day to recover, get plenty of sleep, got a haircut, so I'm all fresh. But I've had a chance to review the photos and videos before and after. So let me show you the after photos and videos here. And I'm going to start with the left eye, because my left eye had a rough time for whatever reason. So like I said earlier in the video, with that sodium fluorescein, anything that's glowing green, that is damaged tissue, pretty much dead cells. And the inner corner of my eye, the nasal portion, for whatever reason, that portion, the dryness was definitely stepped up a notch. And if you can see the green areas there, that is some dense superficial punctate keratitis. I had some staining, or some of the green dye glowing on the conjunctiva, the white part of the eye, so that part was really dry as well, and I definitely had more redness and inflammation in that portion of the eye as well. And what's interesting about that area is that was the area that I was starting to get that foreign body sensation, almost a sandy, gritty feeling, almost feeling like there's a little pebbles in my eye, and it was in that portion of the eye. And so that's where that sensation was coming from. Those little microscopic open wounds were sending that signal to my brain, hey, you got something in your eye, because, well, there's a lot of inflammation and just damaged tissue sitting there, and it did not feel good. Now on the right eye, I definitely did better, less inflammation, less keratitis, but what was interesting on the right eye is that I had a little bit more burning and stinging. Now my tear breakup time on my right eye, the T-but, so how long the tears actually stayed on the surface of my eyes, was much lower than the left eye, which I found interesting. But in this video, when I open my eyes, you can actually see my tears breaking up. Those dark black streaks and areas, that's where the tears are no longer protecting the surface of my eyes. And so when I was opening my eyes just for the videos, it would start to burn, I mean, really fast. And it was those areas where the tears were not protecting my eyes. So I found that interesting, where when the tears left, that's where the burning and stinging came into the picture. And then one thing that I was surprised about is that I didn't have as much eye strain or headaches or eye fatigue as I thought I was going to have. I mean, this is just me. I mean, there are definitely other people that maybe after just 2 hours would get eye strain, but I was lucky at that part. Definitely the dryness was by far the worst symptom that I was experiencing. Had maybe a little bit of eye strain towards the end of the 24 hours, so I was lucky there. So here are my final thoughts. From this experiment, I came up with 6 final points that kind of highlighted my experience here. Number 1, blinking is super important, but not only that, is to do a full blink. If you notice on my pictures, a lot of the damage, the keratitis, is on the bottom half or lower third of the eye, and so that's the portion of the eyes that get dry the most, because if I have incomplete blinks, that's the portion that gets exposed to the air. Number 2, if you are feeling burning and stinging, that's usually a sign that your tears are evaporating faster than they should, and the eye is being exposed to the air. There is definitely a red eye pattern for dryness. So if you are getting dry eyes and you look at your eyes and you have redness on both sides of your eyes, almost like a red line, that is the area of your eye that's drying out. If you kind of lift your eyelid up and your eyes look pretty white, and if you look up and you pull the eyelid down and the eye is white on the bottom as well, and the redness is more on the sides, then that's definitely a sign of dry eyes, specifically from staring at screens. Number 4, dryness and inadequate tears can definitely mess with your vision. So for me, almost early on, it was causing these weird ghosting images, sometimes fluctuating vision, and that's probably my tears kind of fluctuating. Number 5, sleep is really important for many reasons, but definitely to help rejuvenate your eye tissue and your tears. Number 6, this whole experiment really solidified the importance of taking breaks when you're on the screen, really trying to do that 20-20-20 rule, or every 30 minutes you're taking a break and just looking somewhere else, refocusing your eyes. But on top of that, you're actually focusing on blinking and doing complete blinks, blinking exercises. That whole thing really solidified the importance of those, so try and focus on that. And also throughout the day, if you're someone that's using the computer or looking at a screen all day, try and do periodic eye drops just to supplement your tears, coat your eyes, trying to heal those dry patches and damaged tissue. Drops can really come in handy so you don't get to where I got. And then bottom line, if you're having any of these symptoms and you're someone that actually works on the computer or screens all day long, definitely go into your eye doctor, get your eyes checked out, and see in what ways they can actually help you out. You can also check out my videos. I'll leave playlists in the description below underneath the like button, so you can actually check those out about dry eyes, eye strain, and see what tips can actually help you there. I actually put out a survey to all the viewers asking how long you stared at screens, and 11% of you actually said that you stared at a screen for 24 hours or longer. So I'm curious, how did your eyes feel? Definitely leave the answers in the comments. I'm curious to read them. I hope this helped. It was eye-opening for me. Stay focused.